Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. Um, Finally, I'm back, and yeah, I've been away, and I haven't been away, but I've been here. But excuse me, I've just not been able to do a video. I did actually, no, that's not true. I did actually do a video, quite a long one, of two flip throughs of two journals that I'd recently done. So I'm sorry I haven't been around. Couple of reasons. One, I haven't been very well, and two, sorry for my arm, I'm just looking at this in the way. And two, I had a lot of commissions, a flurry of activity in terms of commissions that I wasn't expecting, and I had to concentrate, not being too well, I had to concentrate on them as best I could and not get distracted. I did do a couple of things after I'd finished. One of them after I'd finished and one in between I made a start on. So what I wanted to do is make a couple of Christmas decorations just for fun, just to get me out of the junk journal sort of making and the intensity of these commissions. Don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely incredibly grateful for the commission journals. They were, making them was a real pleasure, and especially because they had a certain, there was a certain expectation around them, with them being Christmas journals and gifts, and so obviously I needed to concentrate on that. And that's a long-winded way of saying, I'm sorry I haven't been around, but those are the reasons why. So in between making and during a period when I was frustrated with myself, I did make this little bauble, Christmas bauble. Now I'd seen it on, I was watching Roxy Creations just for inspiration Christmas. Her and her sister Sarah had been doing, Rachel and Sarah had been doing a 12 Days of Christmas project where they stitched something, and both did some really lovely projects. And with Sarah had on hers, I forget her, is it Roxy Creations by Sarah, I think it is. She had made this in a larger example, that one, and I'll cut it a lot smaller there, I don't know why. I know I did increase the size of this, yeah. So I decided I was going to do the small one and see how it turned out, and I'm quite pleased with it. I mean, I used lots of tiny scraps to cover it, and yeah, I like it. I thought it turned out quite well. I used, as you can see, I used a certain colour scheme, very similar actually, but not on purpose. It wasn't a conscious decision, but very similar colour schemes to the pouch that I made a few weeks ago now. So yeah, and then this morning I woke up, well, yesterday I was frustrated because I couldn't get on and do a video with you guys, and I was thinking, what can I make, what can I do with you? I've done or finished all my journals, and there will be a flip through of parts of them, but as you can imagine, I couldn't really put them on the flip through on before Christmas because they're gifts for Christmas, and it could be that they watch my videos. So yeah, I was very conscious of that. So I'll do that afterwards. But in the meantime, I was trying to think of something to do today, and I decided I would do another one of these. But actually, so this going just as an aside, which is an important one, the lady who gives this pattern for free, these sort of templates for free, is Anne Wood, and you can go to her channel and download them for free, and it's www.annewoodhandmade.com, and you can have these two. So you can have this is to make this or a larger version, and then some Christmas trees. So so this one is the 3-part large sphere. I have an abundance of this beautiful red velvet, and I was trying to think, I've been trying to think what to do with it. It's a gorgeous red. It's not a bright red, it's sort of that rich dark red, which I love. And I was trying to think what to do with it. I couldn't come up with anything. And then when this came up, actually I could put some little beads on there. And then I did this freehand stitching, which, you know, isn't great, but it's all right to hang on the tree. I quite like it. But yeah, I was wanting to put beads and all sorts of things on, and I just ended up not doing it because I couldn't quite. I tried a couple of times and I couldn't quite get it right. So anyway, I did these just little freehand little things on there, and then I added sequins to this one, which just give it that little pop of shininess. So there you go. So those are the 2 things that I made, and I was wondering whether to make a tree today or show you how to make this. I'm tempted to show you this. It's quite complex, whereas this is fairly straightforward and simple. Well, I might do 2 videos actually. I'll tell you what, I'm going to start with the tree for my sake because you know, I've been a little bit stressed, and starting this might be coming back into the videoing and filming, and then going into something complex like this might just push me over the edge for Christmas, which isn't a good idea for my family at least. Right, so let's just check that I'm in. Yep, so what I've done is I've got some card because I decided if I'm going to make the, oh, I can see it's gone over the edge there. I don't think it matters. They're all the same size. They are, yes. That's strange. Oh, I haven't seen anybody make this, so I don't know. What I thought I would do is either use some brown paper and cut it up into that shape, or cut this shape and then glue it onto the paper or the card. I've got some cardstock here, and then, you know, add my fabrics and things and make a nice fabric. So I'm trying to think. I'll probably go with I'm not sure what other people have done. What you could do is you could cut it 2 out, and then, you know, in your fabric, use this as your template. So you cut 2 out, and then you could fill it sort of in the same way that we've done that. And I think that's what this is for. So shall I do that then? So I won't need the card. Okay, I'm going to cut it out. Let's cut it out and let's go some winging it. Anyway, I hope everybody is well, and I hope that whatever you celebrate, whether it's you know, whether it's Christmas or another festival or whatever holiday season, I hope you have a lovely time. So I'm going back to one of the reasons why I didn't make videos is that I've been through a bit of a rough time. You guys know, because one of the last videos I did, I talked about it. Some of my health problems. I do have other issues that are partially related, I guess. You know, you could call them related. And you know, for me, it's just about symptoms and getting through the day with the least amount of what should we say, you know, with just the least amount of pain or the least amount of symptoms or whatever. So yeah, it's been tricky. And then I slid about 5 stairs down 5 stairs a few days ago and jarred my back. So I have, like many of us, I haven't done this particularly well because I've gone over the line, but not to worry. Like many of us, once you reach a certain age, you do tend to get back problems, or even, you know, particular jobs can aggravate the back. And yeah, my discs are degenerating. I have degenerative disc disease, which a lot of us do. It's arthritis, and well, partially, and I have sciatica. So I have peripheral neuropathy in my legs and my feet, caused by the nerve, I believe. So anyway, so yeah, I fell down a few stairs. I didn't fall, I slipped and landed on my feet, but I jarred my back. And that was just sort of, after a couple of weeks of, 4 weeks of constant nagging pain, that was just the icing on the cake, or not. So yeah, it just hasn't been the best time for my health, but I get through it and come out the other side. We do, those of us with chronic pain do, even though we might still struggle with pain on a daily basis. There's a baseline that we manage on a daily basis. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So I'm not too bad today, which I'm happy to say. Right, I hope that these are going to work. So, just thinking, I don't think I need to do it on card because I've got paper, and I mean I could make a card template, but I don't know if it's necessary, because I can always shall I? No, I don't think I need to. Okay, so what I've got here, I'm all over the place, I apologise. I'm a little bit, you know, it's coming back after being away. And it's you know, when you start doing this, any of you who do videos, you will know how it feels. If you're not doing it, you get anxious. That you need to get on and do a video, and that's how I've been a little bit. So yeah, I'm glad to be back, really glad. Right, I might as well move this because I don't need it for now anyway. But so thinking on my feet, would it be a good thing to have a bit of a structure? So what I'm going to do, because I'm just thinking out, I'm thinking out on my feet. I keep these bags for, you know, to do this, to do journals. So I'm not going to use that, but I might have some scrappy paper. I'm sorry, I'll just grab some, see if I've got some here I could use. Apologies. Right, so I've got this bit. I do usually keep all these little bits, especially, you know, if they're of a decent size. Right, yeah, so what I'm thinking is, if the needle goes through it fairly well, then I think it would be worth having something a little bit more structural underneath to give it, to keep the shape. I hope I'm doing this in a way that makes sense. I could be just being a bit, not being particularly you know, I'm sure there's easier ways of doing it, but anyway, I'm just thinking on my feet. And oh, hang on, no, I'll turn that over. I need to leave a border, so I'll leave a border on here as well. Do I? Oh, I'll do it anyway. I'll leave a border. See what I mean? I'm all over the place, sorry, apologies. Anyway, so I'm almost finished my Christmas shopping. I just did a final order this morning. of some gifts for my grandchildren from M&S. And the reason well, it's just easier for me to do it online. If I think I'm not going to get out to do shopping, then it's just going to be easier for me to what I could do is put them like that and cut two out at the same time. I think I'm going to do that. It's going to be easier. I'll just chop this bit off. So yeah, just some last minute things. Well, they're not really last minute. They're just more things that I wanted to buy as extra gifts. And I do have a few things that I need to go to the shops and buy, but oh, there we go. I don't know if I've mentioned before that I live very close to I've just realised I'm cutting this out without a border, so I went through all of that without even needing or because the border will be on the fabric anyway, so don't necessarily need it. Now, you know, you could make this really easy for yourself and not do a 3D version. You could just do it, you know, on card, decorate a card. You could use paper to decorate, or you could use fabric and just have a 2D, you know, a flat piece of card and decorate that. You don't need to go to the length of sewing and, you know, creating a 3D, stuffing it. I'm lucky in that in my stash I have a whole load of keep them a little bit, those bits, these, a whole load of wadding, stuffing, filling. Right, so I was thinking that, you know, I could use these as just to add some, I might even glue them on, you know, because you're not going to see that. This is the base fabric. So I'm going to glue them on with glue stick, and I'm not going to use a lot, I'm just going to use a little bit. So I do need to leave a border here, so just be careful when you, be aware when you're doing this that you do need a border, because obviously if you're stitching, yeah, if you're stitching it together. Yeah. If I sound a little bit manic, I apologise. It's just I'm, you know, excited to be back on, and it's just such. I can't tell you the relief I felt when I finished the final and posted, because, you know, it's all very well finishing. You've got to get to the post office and make sure they're posted in time for people to receive them for Christmas. And it was a huge relief for me to finally get the last one posted. And also my teas as well, because I've been selling lots of teas and other bits in my apothecary. So it's been busy in that respect, which is lovely. I'm not complaining. I think that's too close. I'm going to do it that way. Okay, so obviously I'm leaving a border around. So I might draw my borders now, just to, so if I draw it, you know, just to make sure that I leave myself enough. You don't need this much, this is quite a lot, but I'm just, you know, drawing it roughly, just to remind myself of how much I need. And just a rough sketch. Or outline rather. I'm hoping that the glue doesn't affect the sewing, because but I used a little bit of glue on one of those and it didn't seem to affect it, so I think I'll be all right. As I say, this could be a long-winded and unnecessary way of doing things, but I'm just doing it. So, and you know, maybe as I'm doing it, you might think, oh, why didn't she do it like this? I would do it like that, and then hopefully that will make it easy for you. So just going to put here, give that a rip. This is just old sheet, by the way, old cotton sheet. So I'll cut these out. Very windy here. If you can hear a little noise in the background, it's my what to call it? It's for airflow in the bathroom, and the outside of it, it's obviously sort of one of those that has got like a grid, and it, you know, loose. It's got, oh, I can't speak. What's the word for it? It's just like a grid, I suppose, and a grill, and yeah, it just makes a noise. It flaps around in the wind. It's really annoying, and I can hear it at night. And it's been so windy here. Lovely sunny day though. I'm going out later to do some foraging for some greenery for the house to decorate. I've bought a wreath base, and because I wanted to make my own, and I'll just cut that. It was just to give me an idea of what I needed there. I'm not worried about it being like that, because you won't see that. Oh, I'll do this one. I'm just using my lines as a guide. I mean, you can go to town on these. The thing is, from all making all these journals in the I had 5 commissions, so you can imagine that's a lot. And using, you know, making tabs and journaling cards and things like that, whatever, using fabric, you end up with a lot of little scraps, and this is ideal project to use up scraps. Tiny, I mean, you know, I'm talking about tiny pieces, you know, nothing. I may end up cutting some pieces off nice fabrics, but you know, right, let's see if there's anything. Yeah, I'll keep all those, or most of them. Yeah, they'll be kept. Push them to one side. So there we go. We've got the template. Now I have got too much. I really don't need this much, but I'll sort that out in a minute. So what's next? So turn it around, and then we can decorate within the guidelines. Don't really want to go over, so actually that's a good point to have for this, because you can see then how much, you know, where you're going to decorate by having this behind it. I mean, you could have a line around it, but anyway. So there we go. Right, fabrics. So I've got this. I bought this so many years ago. I can't even remember. It's so many years. My sister and I went to one of these outlets where I think it was sort of like a craft outlet, and it was selling lots of things, you know, fabrics and also floral sundries and things like that, and it closed really recently rather, so I was a bit disappointed to see that, but I might use some of this. I mean, this would make a really nice one, just this on its own, and then maybe decorate it a little bit, but I'm not going to do that because I want to do but I will cut a little bit up. Right, now I think what I'll do is, because I've got a nice chunk here, you might not be able to see that on camera, but I could use some of this, so I'm just going to make sure that I don't cut into a nice square or rectangle piece that is unnecessary. I mean, that would make a nice piece. And I'm remembering I only need scraps, so what I'll probably do is cut here and then cut there, and I have a nice rectangle there, and then I can use this bit for scraps. So that's the plan. Excuse me. Let's see if I can rip it actually. It might make it easier. Yep. And then I've got a nice rectangle left to do something with. So that, and then I have this bag of fabrics here, and then I have another one of scraps there as well. So lots of little scraps going on. So I'll cut this off. And that, again, that's a nice piece, a nice size that you could do something with. Move those over. Right, and I'll just cut a couple of pieces, small pieces from this. So when I did this one, I cut quite small pieces. So there's a bit of sewing I could do there just to pull that together. It's not going to come apart. It's sewn in there, but that's just the fabric on top. So I could put a little bit of lace or something just on the top to hide that, or I could pull it together. But I'm happy with that anyway. So I cut sort of different shapes, and then there were bits that I realised that wasn't very good for the shape of it. So I would maybe put that like that. But I can put things on top as well. Actually, I am going to draw around because it is quite difficult. Use my ruler. Just to give me an idea. I mean, I can see it, but it's just better to just have a bit of an outline. So yeah, make an outline. Just helps a little bit. Hope you can see this. There we go. I'll do the other one. Have you been Christmas crafting? I mean, I get really excited about Christmas crafting, and then I rarely do it. You know, I get bogged down with things instead, and so it's really nice to have this final week. And you know, it wasn't planned that way. It's just as luck has it that I finished all my projects, you know, my commission work, and then I can do this. But I feel quite lucky to be able to do it. It's nice. My house is sort of partially decorated. Well, no, it's mostly decorated now, just some last minute bits. So anyway, let's put something pretty on. Let's put this on because it's... I'm going to go slightly over the edge a little bit. Okay, get something else out. See what else we've got. I want to stick with some nice colours. That's pretty. These are all a bit plain actually. A bit of that. What I do is if I want to have scrappy bits and I have a piece like that, I don't want to just, you know, cut and that, because that's a usable piece. If I'm looking for scraps, I just need to take a small piece off. And I might take it off, cut it like that, and I might cut it like that at an angle because I've got angles there and then an angle there. So, you know, that would sit, maybe not there, but like that, or like that. Let me see, could I do it like that? Yes, I could. So I'm going to put that at the top. And I'm going to cut this off here. I don't want really thick. These are, some of these are quite thick, but I don't want super thick pieces. If I have that, so you can obviously you can Alright, if I do that, I want it like that, so I'm going to cut off like that. So that sits like that. And a bit more. Like that. Okay, and then what else do I have? It's pretty blue. Not pink. Oh, that's like that. That's not a scrap though. Where's my scraps? A little bit there. Excuse me. But it's not, I don't think the colours are quite right. Yeah, I might go on something else. Got little bits of lace as well. I've got some of the velvet here that I used. Excuse me. I mean, you might think this is a bit thick, but it's not too bad. Just wondering whether to have it going up there like that. And let's see what else we've got. Well, that's doing there. Oh look, there's one of the templates that I used for the thing. Might have to get some of these scraps out because rummaging through this isn't fun for you guys. You know, you can't see what I'm doing, so that's a nice piece. And there's a little, some lace. Fabric and some, there we go, I'll just leave them for a minute. Some green, so I need some green. Okay. Right, let's have a look. So that's a nice piece. I don't know if I want to cut it. I've got a smaller piece. Yeah, I love this. It's just such a nice, yeah, I like that. There, I might, look, it's actually that that's bothering me. I might, yeah, I think I'll go like that, or shall I? I'm going to cut it a little bit. I don't like the shape of it, so maybe like that. I'm just going to cut a corner off like that. Don't ask me why I did that, but there. Okay, and then got this little bit here, so what I might do is put that there so it's not so overpowering, and then I could put a little bit of that there, just a little bit. That and there. Yeah, I'm liking that. And then what I can do is just add a little bit of lace on top when I've sewn it on. So the next thing is you can pin it. So we'll try that, but I did find a little tiny bit of glue, again, a little bit of this help to keep it in place, and I think that's what I'm going to do rather than pin. Or I might add pins as well. I'm just adding a tiny bit of glue, and it really just helps to keep it in place before you pin it. Tiny bit. You can add it on the back of there. You don't add it all, you know, right across. You just add a bit. Oops. No. There. Okay, and then that goes there. So put a tiny bit on there, just a tiny bit, hold it down like that. I don't need any there, and I might put a little bit there just to hold that in place there. Actually, I can move that over a bit. It was too far over, so that covers that little gap. Pop that down there, and then there's just this final piece here. Oops. And I didn't really cut it big enough, I don't think, but it doesn't matter because I can cover some of that with, yeah, so there we go. Interesting. Now, when you stitch it, you can start to slow stitch if you want. So I'm going to pin it a little bit, just a little bit, just to, some of these pins are rusty. They're very old, belonged to a lady, an older lady, and I don't know how long she had them, but they're very old, so they're a bit rusty in bits, which, you know, some people that's great, but to pop it through fabric like this, it's to hold it together, it's not so good. Right, I don't even know if I need any on, but I'm going to put that there, and then that here. There we go. I think I will slow stitch it actually. I didn't do much slow stitching on that one, but I think I will on this one. Quite fancy the idea of it. So, right, before I do that, I'm going to cover this one. And I think I might use more of this. I might use it. Right, I'm getting my sewing out. And, oh, I have a needle been using here. Shall I use that? I think I need something a bit more sturdy. I'll use that one. Right. Where am I? I can't find my threads. What have I done with them? Oh, oh, actually, should I use embroidery threads? I love that colour. I'll get some white out in case I need it. And then there is some, pretty sure I have some red in here somewhere. Yeah, there's some red, if I need it. Let's see. My feeling is by using those that it's going to dominate, so I'm just going to use ordinary threads. And I think I'll use red because I want the stitching to show. So I know it will show, white will show as well in some of the parts, but I just want it to stand out. Okay, so what I might do first is just do around the edge, go around the edge. And then just making sure this needle's okay, because I found a batch of needles that weren't, they must have been cheap ones. I certainly didn't buy them. I don't know where they've come from, but quite often over the years I've had things given, and you know, I don't know where they've come from, or what condition they are, and so right, I'm going to make a start anyway. So I'm going to start up here. Just wondering whether to start sewing together. No, I'm going to sew first. Oh, this is right, I'm not, just went straight through there, but that's because it's paper behind it. I'm not worried that it's on the wrong side. Go back. It's not going through the paper. Oh. There you go. Alright, that will do. And then I'll just go down, try and do, I'll stitch it all the way around and then decide what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to do any decorative stitching or anything like that. It's just simply going to be you know, running stitch. And I'm not worried if they're wobbly, I'm not worried if they are large, because you know, they're purposely visible. I'm not worried about gaps. So, you know, you can do whatever you want. You could do it on the sewing machine actually, but I wanted to do some more slow stitch. I enjoy slow stitch. I'm hooked. I need to do some more of Catherine's slow stitch projects. I haven't done anything since the pouch, and I really wanted to do everything. But I am going to catch up. It was only because I had all that stuff that I was doing, you know, that stuff. But I've watched all of Catherine's videos, so I didn't go through the paper there. I have a feeling that I've made things really hard for myself doing this, that I needn't have done. But what I could do, but I actually, you know, I like the paper. I'm just wondering, when I put the stuffing in, whether that paper will make it go a bit weird. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's not. It's just experimental. And I certainly don't want them fat. I don't want a fat Christmas tree. Just maybe I just want. Maybe, you know, I don't even want stuffing in it. I just sew them together, and you know, the paper sort of gives it structure, so it keeps it, you know, more. It won't be floppy. So staying at home this Christmas. My daughter and grandchildren are coming. Yay! Can't wait. I just can't wait to see them. So my sister lives, you know, quite local to me. See if I can do a running stitch there, like this. So, and she has a bigger house. Mine is sort of quite a small cottage. And we just feel that there'll be more space there. So we're all going to go to my sister's house, although, you know, we'll be spending a couple of nights here or a night here. And and then, you know, the rest of the time at my sister's. So it will be a nice sort of atmosphere, lots of us. Not huge, I mean, you know, but yeah, a nice size, 7 or 8 or whatever. Oh, what am I doing? Why is that coming off? And 2 dogs and 3 cats. Just gonna come into there like that. I'm just gonna go back. So yeah, it'll be nice. We're looking forward to it. We're getting excited now, and I know my grandchildren are looking forward to coming, which is, I just can't wait to see them, and of course my daughter as well. You know, I miss them, obviously. Oh, I realised what I've done there. I didn't get in. Okay. I didn't actually get the... Sorry about this. I'm just gonna make sure. Oh, right. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just take a little stitch in there like that to hold it. I don't think it matters too much. It's just to, because I went offline there a little bit. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to it, and you know, it'll be my first Christmas back in the north, and I had a night out with some really old friends. We went for a meal, and that was really nice. That was sort of my Christmas night out. I don't go out a lot. I'm not, you know, those, I used to, of course, you know, years ago, I went out with friends a lot, and did the whole sort of going out, and but nowadays I spend more time at home, or, you know, maybe going for a meal, or just going to my sister's house for... Actually, to be honest with you, I think the main thing is having lunch with friends, really, rather than sort of evenings out. I'm not against it. I just, you know, prefer, especially in winter, I prefer being at home. I don't like driving in the dark, for one thing, and then on top of that, just going to pull this over. I'm sorry, I hope I wasn't out of frame there. So yeah, I'm a homebody nowadays. Ooh, oh, did it again. In my thumb. Take that off. Don't need that on now. But as I say, I like going out, eating out sometimes, you know, a nice pub meal or restaurant. And going to my sister's, and we have sort of movie nights or film nights with my sister and my niece, and treat ourselves, lots of treats, and usually something nice to eat. And we do that regularly, if not weekly. Well, I would say weekly, probably. Yeah, once a week, maybe. Once every 10 days or something like that. And it's always nice. A niece and her boyfriend are there, and we we just have a laugh. We have good conversations, and sometimes debates and things like that. And they're young, and they learning about the world, and we're very knowledgeable already. I don't need to teach them anything. You know, they're more likely to teach me things. So yeah, nearly done with this one. I will speed this up because it's going to be too... I haven't sped anything up yet on so I have to learn how to do that. The other option is to edit and then cut bits out, but because you don't necessarily want to see me stitch things. So right now, I'm wondering whether to go around. I think I will, in fact. So I'm going to go around again. This time I'm going to go closer into the centre, but I'll do lines, sort of running stitch again, and this way it will hold more things in place. And I mean, I'm slow stitching, I'm just not doing anything fancy, I'm just doing simple stitches, but it will hold everything in place at the same time. So it's stabilising it. Right, so you can see it's pretty shabby. But I like it. And what I will do is I will put some decorations on there in some way, maybe some lace or just something pretty, I don't know. Just something to make it stand out. But I do like it as it is. Yeah, love that. And there's the other one, so you can imagine what that one will look like. So I'm going to stop the camera here because otherwise we'll be here all day. So I'm going to stitch this off camera and then I will be back.